Yeah, keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth. Jermell Charlo got something to say about it. Canelo versus Crawford. Jermell Charlo, who fought and faced Canelo. Payday, you want payday. I know that. And beef with Terence Crawford. He finally chimes in, and you won't believe what Jermell had to say about the matchup. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Jermell Charlo has a brand new statement in the form of social media. Let's jump right into the mix and hear what he said about an upcoming fight. And it says, I think so. Crawford will do better than me and blander. Now, what he's saying I think so to is, the question was, does Terence Crawford really hit harder than BErlanga? And that's what twin Charlo, Jermell Charlo, was responding to. Just to put it in context, there was a post and it had Edgar BErlanga and Crawford, and it says, does Crawford really hit harder than BErlanga? And in the comment section, Jermell Charlo said, I think so. Crawford will do better than me and blander. Now, I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but I have no idea who Blander is. I don't know if he was doing like text to speech or something and he meant to put BErlanga, but I don't really know this Blander fella. So I guess he's saying that Crawford will produce better results than BErlanga, if I had to take a stab at it, because that's what the post was about, and himself. Now, props to Jermell Charlo. I could respect that. As a fighter, you know, pride is everything. A lot of people have so much pride, and I don't believe in foolish pride. I don't think you should have so much pride to the point where you lie to yourself. And to be honest, I respect him for just coming out forthright and being like, yeah, Crawford, I think he'll do better than I did. You know, there's no shame in saying that. You fought him, you came up short, you got dropped. It is what it is. But that shows a real man to give somebody else props, especially when you've been at odds with that other person. So I can respect that. However, I got some other things to say about the post. For one, the post is, does Crawford really hit harder than BErlanga? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know that. BErlanga, he probably rehydrates to 200 pounds. So BErlanga might hit hard and hit harder than Crawford. However, Crawford is a better skilled, better equipped fighter than BErlanga. So it's kind of a difference. If we're talking about, like, if there's a way to measure the PSI and the impact on a punch, BErlanga could very well hit harder than Crawford based on his size and him being naturally bigger. Where Crawford excels is it's the shots that you don't see coming. Those are usually the ones that scramble fighters, knock them out, knock them down, etc. So in terms of a fighter, Crawford is way more complete than a BErlanga. We've seen that in BErlanga's last fight. He didn't really make mad adjustments versus Hamza Shiraz. He versus Canelo, he lost every round. Versus Hamza Shiraz, he lost every round. So it's okay to lose, but if you lose, you want to lose like Sean Porter was losing early in his career. Kell Brook, close fight. Keith Thurman, close fight. Stuff like that. Errol Spence, another close fight, right? Even the Terence Crawford fight was close until he got stopped. So there's all losses are not the same. Sean Porter hasn't lost like some of the other guys have lost. You know what I mean? Like a BErlanga. So as far as the Crawford hitting harder than BErlanga, I don't know. Jermell Charlo saying he thinks so, but kind of hard to tell. What we do know is that Crawford is a more dynamic, complete fighter, and that, to me, that it's really unimportant. There's a lot of guys who hit hard. Like, that don't matter if you can't box. You're not a student of the sweet science in the game. You know what I mean? Like, punching power, if you could have it, you would probably rather have it than to not have it, but it's not the end all be all, because everything in boxing, there's a way to negate it. Speed, timing can beat speed. Power, some of these power guys, they don't have the same cardio, for example, right? So you lead them into deep waters and drown them because their power They're used to like hurting guys early and getting out of there and collecting a check. So do they have stamina to be in the trenches and give them that trench work in rounds 10 and 11? That's where you could capitalize on power. Go to the body shot, make them hurt, make them suffer, make them chase you so their legs are weakened between like chasing you, going to the body and landing shots upstairs. You know, so there's different ways to handle power as well. And that could be said for anything in boxing. Another thing I noticed with a lot of power guys, bullies don't like to be bullied. So if you go into the power like Fury kind of did with Wilder or some of these other fights, then some of these, Andre Ward did it with Kovalev. Bullies don't like to get bullied a lot of times. So when someone stands up to it, it breaks them mentally and spiritually and all that. So I don't want to make this a whole video about power. Props to Jermell Charlo for keeping it real on his opinion, despite having beef with Crawford in the past and whatnot. My thing is this now. Jermell Charlo says, I think Crawford will do better than me in Blander, which I'm assuming is BErlanga. My thing is this. It's kind of hard not to do better than those guys for Crawford because he is an exceptional fighter and they fought kind of a younger Canelo and they lost every single round, which is the most important thing. So how can Crawford not do better is more of the question. The only way Crawford cannot do better is if he loses every single moment of every single round, which is what happened to BErlanga and Charlo. You know, Charlo, I thought he lost every round, got dropped, and then BErlanga lost every round and got dropped. So it's kind of hard to, that's like a real low bar, you know what I mean? Because they didn't have it to beat Canelo. So Crawford, we know he definitely has a fighting spirit. He's willing to go out on his shield to impose his will. He has a very mean streak. He has a willingness to win. He has tricks up his sleeves. He has craft. He has, you know, he moves different. Let's just say that. He moved different than like a BErlanga. BErlanga really looked confused versus Canelo. So just different type of fights. Styles make fights. That's what y'all have to understand. Like, for example, here's an example of boxing and how styles make fights. Zelle Zhang knocked out Deontay Wilder, right? Beat him, knocked him out. Didn't even throw that many punches. Zelle Zhang got stopped by Ajit Caballero. Completely different fighters. So Crawford is looking to do kind of what Caballero did to a bigger Zelle Zhang, right? Where he's the smaller man, but he's agile and he could keep them punches up and then outwork the bigger person, and then hopefully it culminates to something. So it's the same type of fight like Ajit Caballero is able to beat Zelle Zhang, but Wilder, a bigger puncher, wasn't. Styles make fights. So we could see that versus Canelo and Crawford. Let me know who you think will win. You know, Crawford is a great fighter. He's not without flaw. And Canelo is a great fighter, but he's definitely not without flaw. Slow feet. He's older for his years, even though he's younger than Crawford. He's been through more wars than Crawford. So we'll see how it plays out. Let me know what you think of Jermell Charlo's comments in the comment section. Edie.